competition that made me cross my boundaries, and I got to know about many soy products that I was not aware about.
Thank you, Ussec, for this wonderful experience, giving us a platform to represent new dishes.
I'm Prakash Pollock from Ussec-Iihm Hyderabad campus. I thank Ussec-Iihm and Ussec team for conducting such a great competition for all of us.
My name is Ussec-Iihm. I'm a second-year student in Ussec-Iihm Delhi. To be a part of this competition was surreal to say the least, and I thank Ussec-Iihm for this wonderful opportunity.
I'm from Ussec-Iihm Conclave. Today I have made orange soy brownie and orange tofu.
My name is Noreen Sheikh and I present you Desert Sushi.
First of all, thank you so much for this great experience, and I'm really super excited.
Thank you very much, Ussec-Iihm. I'm really grateful to be a part of Ussec-Iihm.
This was really a competition that made me cross my boundaries, and I got to know about many soy products that I was not aware about.
Thank you, Ussec, for this wonderful experience, giving us a platform to represent new dishes.
I'm Prakash Pollock from Ussec-Iihm Hyderabad campus. I thank Ussec-Iihm and Ussec team for conducting such a great competition for all of us.
My name is Ussec-Iihm. I'm a second-year student in Ussec-Iihm Delhi. To be a part of this competition was surreal to say the least, and I thank Ussec-Iihm for this wonderful opportunity.
I'm from Ussec-Iihm Conclave. Today I have made orange soy brownie and orange tofu.
My name is Noreen Sheikh and I present you Desert Sushi.
First of all, thank you so much for this great experience, and I'm really super excited.
Thank you very much, Ussec-Iihm. I'm really grateful to be a part of Ussec-Iihm.
Anchoring.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harshit, and we welcome you to today's event. Today's event is brought to you by a collaboration between IIHM and USEC.
My name is Meghana, and I'll be your host along with Harshit for this afternoon. The collaboration with Ussec and IIHM is streamed live on all social media platforms. A warm welcome to all our virtual platform viewers. Thank you.
For those of you who don't know what USEC is, it stands for United States Soybean Export Council. It, it promotes the use of soybean in the food, as it is a good source of protein and is an alternative for people who are vegetarians and vegans.
Since 2020, Ussec and IIHM have been in collaboration and have hosted multiple events, including a cook-off, which gave students an opportunity to curate innovative dishes, soy being the base ingredient. This has given a great boost to the present batches to actively participate in the food demonstrations that would be on in a few moments.
For this event, we have a lot of esteemed guests here who have taken time off their busy schedules to be here and encourage this collaboration. We thank you for coming here today. There are a lot of people, there are chefs, there are hoteliers, and there are food influencers who have made significant contribution to the community. Thank you all again for being here.
We invite Ms. Sanchari Chaudhary, Director of IIHM Bangalore, to declare the ceremony open.
Very good afternoon to everybody, all our guests who are here today, all chefs who have in fact taken up their very valuable time. We understand it's a Monday afternoon, and we also understand that you have got so many operations back in the hotel, but then still you had faith, you committed to us, and definitely you're here right now in this afternoon, for this very important collaboration that we have taken forward. With US Soybean Export Council, USEC, for the last 2 years now, and with IHM again. And we have had some wonderful collaboration work, and this happens to be the first time that we are holding this here at Bangalore. My special thanks goes to Dr. Suresh Kripa, who's here today, and Dr. Kavita Reddy, who's also here today. Both of you have been strong pillars for us of support. And with them today, we also have Ms. Diba Yanoli, who is basically here. She's the head of US Soya Marketing of USEC, and she's joined us here virtually. A very, very warm welcome to you. Diba, I can see you on the screen. Thank you so much for all your support. And we also have Dr. Ratan Sharma, who is a Human Utilization TPM lead of SASA USEC, who is also joining us online in the next couple of moments. I would like to thank all our food writers, all our friends from the F&B industry who has taken such valuable time for being here present today, always being huge supporters of every work that IIHM does and the students of IIHM does. Thank you so much for being here present today. I'm certain everything which is going to be demonstrated here today on soy, comes really important in your food, in your area of work as well. So it's something which is extremely important today in everybody's meal as a very rich source of protein. As we already know, we are also establishing a very beautiful taste in that. I myself am a soy lover. I was talking to Dr. Suresh about it, and I was in fact mentioning that how much I'm fond of soy. So I'm sure soy is a very important product today, which has to be used in every diet, and that is what we are trying to reflect on. There would be some very interesting recipes that our chefs are going to be demonstrating today. So for all the students of IHM who would be here, together with all the faculty members who have joined in, and definitely my co-directors, and in the next couple of minutes, we'll also be having our chairman and CEO of IHM Group joining us. We wish all of us all the very best to go ahead with this amazing program. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support, and we declare the ceremony open. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for opening the ceremony. We now have Ms. Deepa Ayonali, Head of USEC Marketing, to give us a brief about the US Soy Sustainability and Assurance Protocol. She has a diverse work background, social scientist for US Department of Defense in Afghanistan, to working on private jets to business development for Bird and Bird LLP in London, an oil and gas consultant in Dubai as well as a commercial operator for chemical tank carrier Mitsui OSK Lines, Tokyo Marine in Houston. She has been an energetic, passionate, result-oriented, adaptable working worldwide. She's committed to sustainability not just for now, but for the future generations. She recently relocated to Houston, TX, from to Dubai with her two daughters and husband and enjoys the outdoors. Can we have ma'am on screen right now?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes, very
Okay.
good afternoon from.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank you for having this event. And unfortunately, I'm not there in person to actually taste and consume some of the products. I see the chef standing, and it's a great stand to see. I used to be a lover of soy, and then all these myths about soy food consumption sort of scared me away until I started back being reintroduced with Ussec. So I have incorporated soy back into my diet, especially as someone who's going more towards vegetarian and sustainable future for this planet. So with that in mind, I'd like to first of all thank everybody for having me in here, and I'll be sharing my screen for a presentation. And just to keep the movement of the agenda going along, I ask if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out directly to me via email, phone, and Dr. Suresh is there. He can share my information with you. So I'm going to go ahead and begin.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful talk.
Okay. I'm going to share a video first, so let me know if you don't hear the sound.
Rising population, changing climate, and growing consumer consciousness is adding new pressures and greater demand for sustainable nutrition and energy. Your customers are demanding more, and we're here to help you deliver. U.S. soybean farmers grow and develop sustainable solutions to today's biggest problems, producing feed, food, and fuel for a growing world, and preserving the planet we live on for the future. We're committed to leading on sustainability. In fact, U.S. soy has the lowest carbon footprint when compared to soy from other origins. Since 1982, U.S. forest land increased 2.1 million hectares, while cropland decreased 21.3 million hectares. We're leading by advancing key UN Sustainable Development Goals, a shared map for peace and prosperity now and in the future. Our story is one of continuous improvement. Since 1980, U.S. soy farmers have significantly improved resource use efficiency per bushel, while increasing soy production by 130%. We won't stop there. U.S. soy is going further to deliver sustainable solutions for you, your customers, and the planet.
So once again, my name is Diba Yanuli. I'm the head of marketing for U.S. soy for South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa for Ussec. And today I'm here to be discussing with you about sustainability and how I'm privileged to be a part of this movement. So what is sustainability? Sustainability means protecting what you have today to preserve the planet for tomorrow, and preserving the planet for tomorrow for future generations. A growing world is demanding sustainability, meaning we have now been seeing the word sustainability sort of come up in conjunction with the words climate change. There was a Dust Bowl movement in the US many years ago, and this Dust Bowl had spread all over to the East Coast. So a lot of the land and farming usage has been destroyed. And as a result of this damage to a lot of the cropland, we in the United States have developed the National Conservation Resource Group. And what this group does is every year they sort of take land away for research purposes to ensure that the land that the farmers are using is going to be continuously and improved sustainably. So some of this numbers that you can see, there's been, since the practices, there's been 70% reduced tillage. Our nutrient management, 92% of soybean farmers have tested their soil to maintain proper nutrient levels. 10% of farmland is left out of production to protect sensitive areas. 94% of US farms are non-irrigated, and these are just to name a few. So as you saw in the video, even though our land usage has decreased, we have actually gained acreage to allow the planting of soybeans. And this has been proven success since the 80s. We've seen 96% more soybean production, 66% less soil erosion, 35% less land being used, to name a few of these successes. And as you can see, the US Department of Agriculture, they dedicated about $60 billion on these conservation programs from 2019 to 2028. And so we have seen the increase of forest land through these conservation programs. So why is sustainability important for US farmers? Well, 97% of farms are family owned, and they tend to get passed from generation to generation. So the idea is the landowner from that will make sure that their son, their daughter, their grandchildren are inheriting healthy land so that their land can continue to thrive and to grow. And why, you may ask, okay, well, why should I adopt sustainable ingredient sourcing? Well, some of the reasons why adapting the sustainable US soy is it can improve your brand reputation. You can identify more reliable partner suppliers. So if we're selling to a potential buyer in India, you know that we in the US, we are reliable. This can also greatly improve your operational efficiencies. It can create new revenue streams, just to name a few as to why this sustainable ingredient source should be adapted. And more than 75% of Fortune Global 500 companies, they are now publishing sustainability reports. There has been increased scrutiny on sustainability, like where the raw material is coming from, the food ingredients. So you can go to the big top 5 major companies. You can go to oil majors like Shell, go to Chevron. You can go as far as probably Tata and other food, Hershey's, Pepsi. Think of food products or even clothing wear that they are now marking labels with sustainability reports, because consumers and consumer groups, people have become well aware, and they want to start making sure that they are looking at the back of the product and they know that it's sustainable, that they're contributing to ensuring that this planet is going to continue to thrive on. So as the video had mentioned is the Sustainable Development Goals. So you'll see in the next few slides, we have also our own goals within the sustainability, but we have tied them back to the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. So this is may have seen this. This is a map, you can say, of 17 or blueprint of 17 goals to achieve by 2030. And all of these goals are interconnected in one way or the other. And when we looked at these 17 goals, we sort of looked at environment, the social and economic. And underneath each one, we sort of then created subcategories for how we determine which goals we will meet and focus on. So we took for the nutritional and food security, our main goal, if you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, is zero hunger. We hope by people such as yourselves to consuming US soy-based products, we are ending hunger, making sure everyone's bellies are not just full, but that they are nutritionally full. substituting potatoes with soy, substituting rice with soy, because soy is nutritional, it has protein. And along with the zero hunger goal, what we do is we have, in order to reach these goals, we have clean water and sanitation on our lands. We're responsible consumption and production. We are we are taking climate action, life on land, in partnership for the goals in order to achieve zero hunger. And carbon footprint has become such a hot topic along this aspect, along with sustainability, along with climate change. So carbon footprint is very important because it also showcases your footprint on this planet. So to name a few examples, I'm sure if you have gone to booking.com or you have gone to an airline website or hotels.com to actually booking yourself a hotel, or some restaurants have like what the carbon footprint of your consumption of that menu item is, you have seen how much carbon footprint it is to get you economically flown or to stay at a hotel. So you can see this on your day-to-day life. But what we did is we asked a consulting company called Blanc Consultants to look at the carbon footprint of soybean. And specifically, we did this for the Bangladesh market, and we hope to expand this onto like the Indian market. So this is just an example just to showcase the United States footprint of soybean for the Bangladesh market. And it's typically, we can compare for the European market, and this shows you that the United States has the lowest carbon footprint. And to mention along with other countries, this is the same numbers that you will see. The US is continuously the lowest carbon footprint, but specifically for the South Asia region, I'm highlighting here the Bangladesh market. Here you can see the US soybean meal that's crushed overseas. Again, we have the lowest carbon footprint. Again, US soybean meal crushed at the market, we have the lowest carbon footprint. So some key takeaways from this data I'm showing you is saying that we have included the land use change. So we have taken initiative to reduce land impact that we are having and growing soybeans on. We're not in this day and period where we're burning down land, our forests. We're actually conserving our land. This is an example. This image is an image that's coming from NASA. And it's just to show you how important our land is on this planet. We don't want to see this all become drought to dry. We want it all to sort of being thriving and making sure that it's green. So this is just to show you like an overview of what the map of the world is sort of looking like from a NASA perspective. And this imagery is about 2 to 3 years old. So again, we have seen that the crops changed from 1982 to 2017. We have actually in the US gained land, and our decrease in cropland is down by 21.3%. And I'm sure the numbers today, if we have those numbers from the National Resource Inventory Summary Report, you will see probably more increase in forest land and a continued decrease in cropland. Some sustainability trends are sort of led by, originally sort of discussions started around 2015 in Europe, talking about sustainability, what we can do to fight climate change, and then people started talking about sustainability, protecting and maintaining our land, and being more self-cautious in terms of where we're sourcing our material from, what type of cotton that we're buying, how it's grown, the types of irrigation systems it's using to ensure that continued damage to land is not happening. So these are led by expectations, sustainability commitments, and regulations, all sort of going hand in hand in a continuous circle. Now that I've showcased, the UN at the greater level, I'm going to just briefly touch about the Sustainability Assurance Protocol, short name is SSAP. And this is based on the US National System of Conservation Laws. It's been benchmarked against FEFAC. This protocol is like thing of platinum. It's like it sets a very high standard for other countries to sort of sort of look up to. So a lot of countries will use this as a guideline, as a measurement to see how their croplands compare and their rules and regulations to ensuring that they're meeting also similar criteria. So about 20,000 farms in the United States are conducted annually without, audited annually without knowledge, the farmer even knowing that their land is being conducted. And a lot of it is certification and continuous improvement, like how you can continue to improve your land. And so you have at the bottom left-hand corner of this diagram, you can see all the laws and regulation. These are laws such as labor workers, water laws, things on land, soil, to along of on the right side, which you see on farm, things of like crops, buffer strips, and all of these rules, regulations, they all ladder up to the US SSAP. And there are 4 major directives, and each of these directives link back to the Sustainable Development Goals that the United Nations sets out, the one I have shared with you. So the 4 major directives are the biodiversity and the high carbon stock. These are rules, regulations that have to do with biodiversity, the grassland, the forest. Then we have production, things of crop rotation. We also dealing with the public workers' health. So we have the Environmental Protection Agency involved. They sort of set rules and regulations that we adapt into this protocol. And the most important is continuous improvement, because in order to be sustainable, there needs to be continuous improvement on a day-to-day basis. How can we continue to do better day by day to ensure that our land is maintained and to make sure that this land usage will be continued for future generations and even thrive, make it better. This is just to show you, for those, you're on a human consumption side. So this is just to show you what a farm looks like, a US farm. And these are just numbers which I've highlighted to sort of cover and mention what how sustainability is impacted on a farm. So we have things like cover crops. Cover crops mean, okay, after corn is grown, we leave the corn stalks up in the US, like on the farm. You can see all these wooden bits, corn. The corn, then the soy gets planted on top. So then you have like soy leaves coming up and all the corn stalks sort of sticking up. I'm sure if you've seen this driving in the countryside, or those of you who visited the US during this, you may have seen, why are there a whole bunch of corn stalks? Well, the corn stalks are actually good for the land. We don't need to go in manually rip up all the corn stalks and then plant these the soybeans. This is like food for the soybeans. So this is, I think, from your aspect, what you may see, what you can probably relate to. There's other things that you may see here, such as water storage ponds, irrigation, how to reduce fuel use. And part of the sustainability is there's a lot of GPS, autonomous tracking, like driving the tractor by a remote control car. We have drones that fly to sort of ensure that the land is being maintained. There's not like thousands of farmers working on the farm. We may have on this type of farm, it's probably 5 people can manage this type of land. And it's mostly for the machine, equipment, making sure things are working in an efficient way. And US soy continuous improvement goals. So we aim the US soy farmers aim to continue to reduce the land use change by 10%, reduce soil erosion by 25% tons per bushel, increase our energy use efficiency, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And as I mentioned, some key achievements for this protocol is we've been positively benchmarked by FEFAC. It's been recognized by the Consumer Goods Forum and the Tokyo Olympic Procurement Committee, which we are very proud of. It's part of the Global Seafood Alliance Best Aquaculture Practice of Sustainability Feed. So think about like your fish that you're consuming, your shrimp that you're consuming. And it's part of the EU Renewable Energy Directive. So even Europeans have adapted this US SSAP for their own energy directive. And since this protocol has been established in 2014, our market shipments originally started out around 7,000, and we are in 2022 way past the current marketing year. And as you can see, we are way above that 28 or 30 million metric ton that's being verified sustainable. So some things, this may not relate to you there, but just some facts to know is it's free. Having the certification that the soybeans have been sourced from the US, it comes at no cost. It's shipment specific. The certification can be available 7 days before and 60 days after it's shipped. It's available only to US source and shipped soy. And we have a website that sort of has all this information. So if you as a consumer are interested in knowing where your soybeans are coming from, you can ask, hey, is my soy product, is it sourced from the US? Do I know what I'm consuming? It is sustainable. So these are questions that you can go back and ask, your distributor, the person who you're buying the soy product from. And now this SSAP can be now down to 4 levels. So meaning you have one big customer purchasing from the US. They can then pass it down to customers, 4 levels, so that on their product, they can have a logo, which I'm going to share with you, so that you know that your soy product is coming from the US. I'm going to skip over this. So this is what this sustainable soy logo works. And currently in India, we do not have this logo yet. But one of my goals is to get a product, to get the edible oil side to actually start using this logo. And it's trademark approved, and it can be used to differentiate from one another. And this is showing you some different examples of how the US soy has been packaged on tofu products, to tempeh snacks for human consumption, to animal feed and oil, to name such a few. So with that in mind, I want to thank you once again for taking time and tuning in on the US soy sustainability solution. We hope that we can get your product sourced mostly from US soy when it comes to consumption, and with the changes of your government sector. So think about essential, responsible, and economical. And I invite you, if you have any questions, please do reach out to me with no hesitation. And I hand it back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful presentation. And thank you for building a sustainable future for the upcoming generations.
I would like to now call upon Dr. Ussec-Iihm, Technical Representative, Ussec. He will talk to us about various soy ingredients that can be used by the hospitality sector. With a PhD in Food Science and Technology from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar, India. In 2010, Dr. Ussec-Iihm started Nutritech Consulting Services Private Limited and started working on food fortification, development of convenience foods, dry blended nutritional and health supplements, disease-specific health foods, bakery products, nutrition products using different food processing technologies. Currently, he is consulting for US Ussec and to promote soy foods in South Asia. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. And first of all, I would like to thank IIHM for giving us this opportunity to interact with you all, to introduce soy into the hospitality industry, with the way now the consumers, not only India, all across the world, are looking for healthy and nutritious products. And also we see a lot of interest in vegan or vegetarian products. That is where soy can fit in very well. As you would have heard from Deba Ainoli's presentation, how sustainable it is. Soy production of soy itself is sustainable, and top of it, the way US soybean farmers are handling, it is really sustainable. And here I just would like to briefly introduce the soy ingredients which the hospitality industry can consider when they are looking at improve their recipe or meet the consumers' demand. There are quite few slides, but I would like to This one. Yeah. Okay. So the outline is going to be like this, but I'm not going to cover most of it. But anyway, I just would like to, yeah. So I just would like to kind of give an idea about how soybean is processed. I'm sure most of you are aware. If not, we don't have any soybean here. It's okay. These are the yellow beans with a black top. You will see for streak on that. So this soybean it's a very good source of protein. It has about 40% protein and about 20% oil. Globally, soybean is produced for its oil content. So that is why when you look at soybean, you always see something like clean dehulling and then taking out the crude oil either as expelling process or by solvent extraction process. When you do this, you take out the oil and you get a product which is called defatted soya flour, which has about 50% protein. Remember in the beginning, I said 40% protein in the beans, and you will get 50% protein in this. And after getting this, usually what the industry does is they will use it, the defatted soy flour, which will look like this. We are making few recipes using this defatted soy flour. This is one of the very good source of protein. This is further, the protein is concentrated by taking some of the carbohydrate fractions. So what we call soy protein concentrate, which has 65% protein. And it is this soy flour is further refined to actually get all the protein out of it. That is what is called soy protein isolate, which will have 90% protein. If any one of your customers are looking for really boosting the protein content in their recipe without compromising the taste, so this is one of the products you can look at. This can be used into number of various products. I always say that imagination is the only limitation, because you can think of something, you can just put these ingredients into different products, whether it is meat and logs or protein hydrolyzed, frozen desserts like ice cream. If you want to make vegan frozen desserts, you can easily do that. Or you can make into noodles, pasta, textured vegetable protein, snacks, nutritional protein supplements, or disease-specific supplements. So these are all some of the products which these particular ingredients can be used. And we also get something called lecithin, which is a powerful antioxidant and powerful emulsifier. And if anybody, I'm sure everybody eats chocolates, isn't it? So all chocolates will have this ingredient called lecithin, which has a very, very good health benefits, as well as it has a good functional characteristic like holding fat and oil together. It's a very good emulsifier, and also it plays a very important role in brain health. Dr. Kavita later on will going to talk some of the benefits of this. I'm not going to discuss the health benefits. And from soybeans, if you look at the whole soybeans can be processed into something like soy milk, tofu, soy nuts, edamame, soy sauce, snacks, tempeh, miso, various products like fermented products. Maybe you will see in some of the Far Asian countries or Far East Asian countries or Southeast Asian countries like tempeh or miso, you can do that. Or you can do something like full fat soya flour, which can be used into various bakery applications, which I will discuss a little later. So I will, next one. Yeah, this as already I have given some introduction. The Asian countries have been population have been consuming soy for 1,000 years. Why I am saying that? When for a country like us, US or in the Europe or in the West, if you see, it is relatively newly introduced. So when you something introduced newly, people will have a lot of questions. So if you look at the internet or if you look at some of the social media, you will see a lot of myths about soy. There is nothing like that, because soy has been consumed for centuries in the Asian markets, and it's grown all around the world. Today, we world produce about 350 million tons of soybean, and it can be used for protein feed, food feed, and other industrial applications. I was talking to somebody a little while ago. You can make something like adhesives, like you can make something like biodiesel. There are so many other industrial applications. It's a good in protein and a good quality protein. The quality of soy protein is at par with milk and egg and meat. So here, If you are introducing soy into any of the recipes, you are not compromising the quality of the protein, because the soy protein quality is at par with all the non-vegetarian proteins. Even though being a vegetarian protein, it has an excellent quantity and quality of protein, and it's a very good source of bioactive components. I was talking to Chef Joseph a little while ago, and now today we have a lot of interest in immunity boosting components. So this is where a lot of bioactive components present in soy can help us in boost the immunity and reduce the symptoms, or reduce the burden of something like COVID, what we are going through now. So these are some of the ingredients. I think I have already mentioned most of them. Low-fat soy flour is something which is made when you are looking at a expelling process, when you are physically take out the oil, and where you will get a product called low-fat soy flour, which has about 45% protein and about 7-8% fat in it. And protein concentrate, I mentioned. Milk powder is something you can recently coming up. We don't have anything here, but today. But if any one of you are interested in any of these ingredients or introducing soy, as I didn't introduce beginningly, in the beginning, we don't do any any product, or we don't sell anything. We only promote the concept. If any one of you are interested in the area of Bangalore, I will help you in sourcing some of these ingredients locally. There are a lot of manufacturers here in Bangalore and in South, so we can put you in touch with them so that you can include these products. So that is why I'm saying this skim milk, soy milk powder, which is also relatively new product. So this can be used very well in place of skim milk powder. So this I have already mentioned, low-fat soy flour, mechanical expelling process, and starts with soybean. I'm going a little fast because I want to focus more on the demonstration rather than giving a lecture. Okay. So this can be used. The defatted soy flour can be used. As I said, it has about 50% protein. It can be used very well into any of these products. We have developed, Dr. Kavita Reddy is here. She has developed some recipes with using defatted soy flour in bundi laddu and other things. This is one of the most economical source of protein. If you look at the cost of protein, defatted soy flour, maybe if you buy in the market also, still you may get for about 75, 80 or 100 rupees a kg. Imagine with 100 rupees, you are getting 500 grams of protein. This is one of the cheapest source of protein, that too a good quality protein with various number of health and nutritional benefits. Soy concentrates is another product which has about 65 to 70% protein, and which is a little better tasting than defatted soy flour because it's further refined, and it can be used into various products like beverages, meat applications, bakery applications, or child nutrition supplements, or bakery products, pasta, textured soy protein, sports nutrition, various products. You can use this particular product based on your requirement of protein, how much you want to introduce into your product. Isolates, as I mentioned earlier, this is one of the most concentrated source of protein, the product with high amount of protein, more than almost 90% protein. Then its acceptability is very good because it has a bland flavor, bland taste. And if you are really looking at boosting your product with a very good amount of protein, this is something you can look at it. And we have made so many products like frozen desserts, something like frozen desserts can be easily made with this. And if you are looking at making soy milk from isolate, you can easily do that. You take so isolate, maybe 5% of isolate, add about 3-4% of vegetable oil and mix it, and then your soy milk is ready. It is easy to make something like that at home. You can do without any characteristic flavor or anything like that. And color is also, it is very, almost white in color. So it can be used very, very well into most of these products. And a lot of the nutritional supplements which are available in the market today, they are using this soy protein isolate. As I've already mentioned about the lecithin, which is a very, very good emulsifier and also antioxidant, and also a lot of functionality in the food applications. Like if you are making something like a pancake, and if you want to really get the pancake without touching the pan, you add maybe 0.25, very small amount, 0.25% of lecithin, it will have a very clean pan release. So these are some of the functionality this particular powerful product can help in, like whether it is instantization, releasing agent, as I mentioned, or sheeting. You can make very good sheeting. You don't add a lot of this product, maybe about 0.25 to 0.5%. And this can go very, very well into the functional, as a functional ingredient into processed products, and also healthy product, because the phospholipids which are there in lecithin are the basic constituents of our brain cells, which help in the memory, and also it has anti-cancer properties. Probably Dr. Kavita would be talking about this. So these are some of the products. I will not discuss that. I just would like to close this, my brief presentation, on how soy protein, when compared to other proteins, how it is like. So I have taken 10 different attributes with the protein density, quality, supported by health claims, so and so, and a 9 out of 10. Soy scores 9 out of 10, except one character, that is clean label. As of now, if you are packaging a product, it has to be labeled as one of the allergens. Any protein can be allergic to somebody. Somebody is allergic, you cannot do anything here just to avoid it. But other than that, soy protein has a health claim that way back in 1996, FDA mentioned that if anybody consumes 25 grams of soy protein with a diet low in saturated fat and cholesterol, will reduce the risk of heart diseases. So this is kind of health claim associated with soy protein. Also, there are certain other health benefits associated with soy, which we will discuss later on. And safety, as I mentioned earlier, soy has been consumed by people all over the world for more than 5,000 years. It is like safe like any other food product. Availability is also very, very good. As I said a little while ago, world produce about 350 million tons of soy. That means at 40%, we are getting almost 160 million metric tons of protein. So by 2050, the world is going to require another 70% more protein. So this is one of the solutions for us to meet the protein requirement, and also the growing demand for the plant-based protein. So I can play very well in that particular situation. With that, I would like to conclude my brief presentation on introduction of ingredients to you, to look at how soy can be introduced into day-to-day recipes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful words on soy.
We would like to welcome our Chairman, CEO, IndiSmart Group and IIHM, Dr. Suparna Bose, to speak a few words of encouragement to the audience. Can we first have the audio video, please?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Am I audible? Hello, everybody. And it's such a pleasure to be in this absolute August company as we take off one more series of the very, very productive initiative from the United States SOA Foundation. We did one before with the campus at Hyderabad, and it was an absolute roaring success. This time we are doing from our very, very trophy campus at IIHM Bangalore. And I think we are going to really, really make it big. We are very grateful to the Ussec for giving us an opportunity to create this platform where our students and the chefs would be cooking and creating magic from the Soya. Soya as a product itself is already very popular in India. And in India, as we all know, almost 35 to 40% of the population are vegetarian. And soya is one of the most popular items, not only among the vegetarians, but also among the non-vegetarians and all people. I'm personally a big fan of soya because it is delicious, it has got proteins, and it has got all the health aspect. For everyone looking for a healthy eating, at the same time, tasty eating, I think soya is the ingredient, that is the product, that is the food that we should all promote and create awareness among our students, among the industry leaders, among the chefs of today and the chefs of tomorrow, who are here all from all the campus of IIHM. And it's such a great pleasure for me personally to be here and to see this to take off. This Ussec has been very close to our heart. After the Hyderabad experience, we have learned a lot, and our chefs at IIHM Bangalore and under the very dynamic leadership of Sanchari Chaudhuri, the director, are all ready to make it a very, very big, and digitally also we are going to make it viral. I'm sure this is going to be one of a kind initiative. So we at IIHM are extremely proud to be associated with the Ussec, and we will do everything possible to make sure that this initiative of creating and promoting the Soya as a healthy diet, as a healthy and tasty diet, will really go and travel to the entire hospitality and the culinary industry, not just in India, but wherever we are there, wherever the students of IIHM are there all over the world. Right now, I am equally excited with the team at IIHM Hyderabad, and I'm sure that this particular initiative will be extremely productive and very strong learning experience for our own students. So I'd like to thank the Ussec for being part of this huge promotion and for giving IIHM the opportunity for being partnering you in promoting this Soya and food through cooking through different kinds of Soya in India, and to promote and popularize Soya as one of the most important ingredients of our life and living and eating. I think it is very much a healthy eating as well. So we thank the Ussec for giving IIHM this platform and the opportunity. On behalf of myself and the entire IIHM community, on behalf of the entire campus at IIHM Bangalore under the leadership of Sanchari, I'd like to thank all of you for being with us. And please make sure that this is a huge success for Ussec and IIHM partnership, and look forward for very, very exciting recipes, cooking. I'm sure a lot of chefs are here today who are going to cook with the Soya and come up with some absolutely amazing recipes. So let's start the cooking. As we say, let's cook. And once again, grateful and thankful to Ussec for giving us this opportunity. And thanks very much for everyone who are here in this video conferencing via Zoom to be a part of this absolutely incredible Soya promotion of Ussec through the IIHM Bangalore campus. So thank you so much for this, and I'm sure we're going to have a fantastic time today. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for gracing this event with your presence.
Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to lighten the mood and let you all know on a fun fact about soya. Soya is a good source of protein, as you all know by now. 1 cup of soy milk contains about 13% of your daily protein needs. Commercial soy milk is high in vitamin D, vitamin B12, riboflavin, calcium, copper, and even contains some iron. Soya milk is also far lower in saturated fat than whole milk. Handing over the stage to the chefs of IIHM for the food demo.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to be a part of this demonstration. I'm Gopal, and with me, Chef is there.
Good afternoon.
Today, I'm going to demonstrate the soya color from the soya milk. So for that, require soya milk, sugar, cardamom, and vinegar. Along with that, I am serving a roti, which I will make from soy milk itself. During the reduction of milk, when I will going to reduce the milk, I will take out some of the roti and I will saffron in that. So that I will serve with a salad. And I'm also serving a sweet with that. So let's start. First of all, milk. I'm taking a 500 ml of soy milk, and we need to boil it and reduce by almost like 75%. And meanwhile, my milk I'm reducing. I will start with the sweet. So sweet will take time. For sweet, I'm getting an egg white. So I have egg white of 1 egg. But we need to mix it. Put in that. And dip it in soya flour. It's equal amount, 15 grams each. So first we need to make a smooth paste out of it, and later on I will dilute it with the water to get the right consistency. So it will spread evenly. And I will bake the sweet. So there is a very interesting story behind the Kalakan, and Shweta, please take over.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Aishwarya. So I'm going to talk about Kalakan. The founder of Kalakan was Baba Thakur Das. He was from Pakistan. After partition, he came to India and was sent in Rajasthan in Alwar. Alwar is a place made of where milk sweets are found and made. So Baba Thakur Das was a halwai in Pakistan. So he decided to start up something with milk sweets in Rajasthan. So he once, due to lack of resources, he decided to open a small stall on the footpath and decided to cook the kalakan. So he only used milk and sugar. People did not believe the sweet was only made up of sugar and milk. He started adding milk in a bowl and then let it boil for 900 degrees Celsius. After a while, the milk started splitting, and then he converted the milk into a mold and added sugar. After a while, the milk started thickening, and after 2 hours or later, he decided to taste, and then that gave a brown crunch taste, and the kalakan was prepared like that.
So add 1 tablespoon of mixture. I'm making a triangle out of it. And now 165 in the oven for 20 minutes. Instead of egg, you can replace easily with butter. If you are a vegetarian, because it's a vegan recipe, I'm using egg because of the recipe of doing. But if you don't want, you can replace it with the butter, the egg white. So the boils came. Thank you.
Mentioning about if they are making it from soy milk, soy milk has no cholesterol.
Keep that. Give me the better.
Compared to dairy milk, soy milk has higher protein, less fat, and also the fat is mostly unsaturated fat, which is a healthier fat. And only thing the issue with soy milk is it is low in calcium compared to dairy milk. But being a plant protein or a plant source, our body can utilize the calcium better than milk, even though it has low in calcium, but the calcium utilization by body is better when you drink soy milk.
Thank you, sir. So usually when we make kalakand from the full fat milk, whether it's a cow or buffalo milk, the fat percentage in that is 8 to 10%. So from the same amount of milk, you will get more yield because fat percentage is more. Because the principle behind the kalakand is to curdle the milk. So the more the fat, the more the yield you will get. And what I'm using here, this soy milk, this is for free. So it is having only 1.8% of soya fat. So I will add vinegar to curdle the milk at last when it will be reduced after adding of sugar. So for 500 ml, we require 60 grams of sugar and around 4 to 5 bursts of cardamom, green cardamom. So you can add directly also, and you can make a powder of cardamom separately, or I'm using a granulated sugar. So what I did, I add the cardamom in that and I make a fine powder. So it's a time consuming recipe. I already reduced the soya milk and you can see the consistency here. Because soya milk is not in whitish in color. So how it is looking like now? After adding of sugar and reduced by 75%. And now I will heat it up and add vinegar to curdle it and bring the kalakand. I'll take out some of the milk from here, just a spoon to dissolve the saffron. I already prepared the rabdi, you can see.
I'm sure you can make even better recipes than this. We thought we'll just give you a kind of idea how versatile the ingredients can be and how we can use it into some of the recipes which you day to day make in your day to day life. Here it is not, we are not trying to teach you anything. I know you are all chefs with a lot of experience, just to give you an idea how we can include soy ingredients into our recipes.
So it's a runny consistency, it's not too dense because I need to plate. I will use as a sauce. Just mix that. Oh. Mix together. Just a minute.
Interestingly, I did my MSc on kalakand. I developed commercial process way back in 97. We developed a commercial process for producing kalakand. Of course, that time it was a dairy product. I used dairy milk to do that. Even now, there are some of the companies are actually making kalakand commercially, but there is no actual set process. That's what I developed for my masters.
So start boiling. Now I will add vinegar. So for 500 ml of soya milk, I'm using 10 ml of vinegar. I will add slowly and start mixing. Why I'm adding vinegar at last? Because if it's a normal whole milk, it will curdle in between. So I require less vinegar. But here, if I'll add the vinegar at the beginning, so it will give sour taste because percentage in this milk is less. This is the reason I reduce first and now I'm curdling. If you don't want to spend so much time in the cooking of the kalakan, so what you can do, you can just reduce the milk by 50% and you can grate and add silicone tofu to get the texture. So it's like a shortcut. Sorry. Yeah, just add in that. Just mix together.
So you're mixing saffron in
Yes. So you can see it's curdled and it's getting the texture like a chena, which we use for making paneer and gulab jamun and rasgullas. So that's it, it's ready. Now we need to cool it down and we need to set it.
Okay.
So yeah, you can use any rectangular shape mold. It's up to your choice. I'm using for the presentation, I'm using this cookie cutter. So I need one plate, please. Empty. One plate. This one. Yeah. Thank you. The portioning smell. I mean, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. The portioning, it depends portion on how big portion you are serving per head. I'm serving a la carte portion, but you can slice it off and serve in the buffet. The same amount, if you will take buffalo milk of the same amount ml, you would get failed because of fat content. Fat per. You have spoon? Thank you. The sugar you can adjust by as per your taste. More or less. I fill it and I will tap little. So the air pockets or air bubble will go away and it will settle down perfectly. And now we need to cool it to room temperature and later on we will chill it at least.
So in this product, we have soy milk and in the defatted soy flour they've used in this, which can really boost the protein content. I'm sure we will get an opportunity to taste it. I haven't tasted this yet. I hope we'll get an opportunity to taste it. So the way today, what we are planning to do, what we are doing is like we'll be doing a demonstration, which may take around 10-15 minutes and followed by a brief presentation on different aspects. Now, next we will be having one Dr. Sharma, my colleague, will be talking on soy milk and tofu. Then I will discuss, we will have another demonstration and then I'll discuss about how we can use in bakery product and as a meat analog. And then we have another presentation like that. We will kind of alternate with a demonstration and a presentation so that we'll be able to provide you the information without getting bored.
Moisture. There. Just give me a piece.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah. Just take it out. Explain about wheat. Explain about wheat. No. Okay.
So shall we start?
Sorry. No, it's fine. Ready. Wait a spoon. The other one. Small one.
So currently our Kalakand is being set. So with that, we shall move on to the next segment. Thank you, sir, for giving us so much insight on Kalakand, and we will be expecting a lot more of information on soy further down the session.
Now we have Dr. Ratan Sharma, Human Utilization TPM Lead, Ussec, joining us virtually to give us an insight about the opportunities of soy milk and tofu products in the hospitality sector. Dr. Sharma has more than 25 years of extensive experience in developing and promoting the soy food processing, utilization, and marketing development of South Asia and other regions. He is an international expert on soy foods, actively promoted soy-based foods, leading a metric rise in soy utilization for human consumption, resulted in establishing more than 2,000 soy food processing industries in India and other countries. Can we please have sir on the screen?
Hello everyone, can you see my screen and hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, okay. My name is Ratan Sharma, I work for Ussec, and Dr. Suresh and Kavita are my colleagues, and I'm very much thankful to IIHM for organizing this program, and this is really very informative. In the past also we had one such program which went very well in the leadership of Chef Pao. So also I'm thankful to my distinguished colleagues Dr. Suresh and Kavita, who are taking so much pain and conducting this event and coordinating in day-to-day work related with that this program, and they are much more knowledgeable than me on this subject. So they are there and they can help you in all aspects of soya processing and utilization, and especially in bakery and all that soya food processing. So what I'm going to cover is just 1 second. The utilization of soy milk and tofu in hospitality industry. See, why dairy alternatives? Because nowadays you will see a lot of different type of dairy alternative products in the market, and there is a huge growth. Because of limited time, I will not be able to explain, but we can always share the presentation with you. So you can see that with this FIRE report, you will see that global dairy beverage alternative market like soy milk and different kind of other plant-based milk market is expected to grow from USD 80 billion to in 2022 to USD 47.95 billion at a CGR of 11.7 during the forecast period. Dairy alternative continue to grow as plant-based diets explode. As I told you that there is a very good potential, lot of products are coming. Every other day you will see a new product in the market. Soya milk is the most popular dairy beverage. If you see the data of all the dairy alternatives, soya acquires almost 65%, 75% of that share. So the major drives are lactose intolerance, which you all know it's a big problem in the country, almost all in all the whole world, and increasing interest in vegan diets and product specific choices, nutrients, and trends. So these are at the bottom line. Here you will see that these are the major factors making the consumers interested in this segment. These are again, you will see some other key drivers like increased interest in non-dairy products, mainly due to increasing vegan population, product specific choices. Environmental consciousness is also there, as our colleague Diva already explained you, and the health consciousness, lactose intolerance, I already told you, and excellent opportunity for lactose intolerance and health conscious population. Improved nutritional benefits and economical than dairy products. With soy milk, it is much economical than dairy milk and dairy milk powder. I'm not going to cover what soya milk is, but we can always explain this to you. This is very simple to make. Either you can make at home, which is not very commercially viable, but you can, for your domestic use, you can, or for a small use. If soya milk is not available in your area, you can make it. We have the literature how to produce soya milk at home, which we can provide to you. So otherwise, it is locally available. With the efforts of Ussec in past 20 years, now you will see soya milk and tofu production almost every city in the country. These are various soya milk and soya tofu products. More than 420,000 metric ton of soya milk produced in 2020. It's almost a data which I don't want to repeat again and again. But if you see, the market is increasing, and the soybean, which is soya milk, which is produced, approximately 60% goes into 60 to 70% goes into tofu, and rest is converted into soya milk. There are several value-added products like ice cream, lassi, yogurt, and traditional sweets, which you can prepare. You are much more knowledgeable than us in this segment, and you can prepare these products in a very tasteful and acceptable format. Tofu production is growing significantly, almost 20% growth. Making soya milk is very easy. You just clean the beans, soak the beans, put it in the machine, cold grinding happens, and then there is a grinder, and you just grind it. So within 20-25 minutes, you will get around, depending on how much raw material you are using. So it's either it is a continuous process or batch process. If it is a batch process, then you use 2 kg of soybeans and you can get 50 liters of soy milk in 20 minutes. Then add salt and sugar, mix well. This is flavored milk. Then coagulate it like your regular paneer. The same process almost. Different kind of coagulants are used to produce different varieties. Then wash and chill it. This is how you get raw tofu. And for making curd and yogurt, there are various process to make it, either steered yogurt or set yogurt, curd. So there are different type of bacterial culture available in the market, so you can try with that. With the soya milk, you can produce non-beanie soya drinks, shakes, frozen desserts, puddings, and savory delights. Then with tofu, you can use it in salads, also in main course, shakes, frozen desserts, puddings, and different kind of fried snacks like pakoda and different kind of other stuff which is made by regular paneer. So everything you can do with tofu. It's a versatile product. Then with yogurt, you can go like soya yogurt, you set and drinkable, as I explained earlier. Then smoothies, desserts, ice cream and frozen desserts. Then traditional sweets, different type of traditional sweets. This is not the Indian picture. We took this picture long back in Southeast Asia, and this is how the product placement is there. So we have almost a similar kind of production and marketing of these products here in India also. So now new type of companies are coming with nice processing equipments, very efficient equipments with low or no beanie smell. And there are several varieties of soybeans produced in US which produce non-beanie soy milk. So some of the industries are using that also. So in the market, you will get very good quality soya milk in Tetra Pak, in bottles, and in pouches. Tofu is made by coagulating hot soya milk like paneer. It is very porous in nature and blends well with any cuisine. It doesn't have its own taste, so it adapts the taste of the curry you are putting in. And it has a mild flavor, very smooth and soft texture, creamy white appearance, and very pleasant mouth feel. It's sold in loose. It's available in the market in loose format, vacuum packed, and water-filled pouches. There are several types of tofu, but main firm, soft, and silicon tofu. These are commercially available tofu. If you want the tofu in bulk and don't need the packaging, this is the tofu you can use. This is the left one is plain, the other one is spicy tofu. This is how tofu is kept in submerged in water, and the last one is in vacuum pack. This is silicon tofu. Silicon tofu is not very common here in India, but in hospitality industries, it must have a lot of role to play on different kind of preparation toppings and all various applications. So we can always put you in contact with this type of producers, or we can impart knowledge to you as well, so that you can produce your own product. This is soya milk powder. This is nothing but dried soya milk, spray dried soya milk, and you can reconstitute. If soya milk is not available in your area, you can just buy the powder, reconstitute it, and use it as a soya milk to make flavored milk or tofu. And this is these are different kind of sweets made by using soya milk. So in the middle, you will see gulab jamun. This is a free mix of gulab jamun, and you can this is commercially available. If you want, you can buy. This is soya ice cream, and these are the packets. Like you can use these to make so soya milk powder, and you can use these to make soya curd or soya ice cream by using this milk, which is made by this powder packed in this pouch. Then there is there are frozen desserts and cultured milk. So these are various products which you can either you can prepare for your own uses, or you can buy it from the market. Ice cream and frozen desserts are getting popularity here in India, and because the dairy ice cream contains a lot of fat, and especially saturated fat, and so people are not preferring that. So soya milk based ice cream is getting popularity here in India, and there are several companies producing it on a commercial scale. Okara is the leftover portion after making soya milk. So okara can be converted into lot of end products, be it halwa, puddings, and different kind of fries, and the bakery items, biscuits, and different kind of other bakery items. So these are the products which are available in the market, or you can make on your own. So Ussec is always there to provide all sort of technical assistance and related things. So feel free to contact us, and thank you so much for giving the opportunity. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
Now,
we shall now move over to our next segment, a food demo by Chef Vijayta.
So you are all from you are listening about the soya products a lot. So today I'm here to do a demo on soya TSP, okay, and tofu.
So I'm going to use textured soya. Now you might be thinking, what am I going to do? Okay, this is a complete South Indian food which I'm going to here. It is okay, you might be hearing more about fish moli, but here I'm going to do tofu moli and soya appam. Okay, so with me, I have my third-year student, okay, Ritika, will just tell you the ingredients we have to make appam batter. Yes, Ritika, please. My name is Ritika. So today for the batter, over here, we textured soya, then we have the rice, beaten rice, then a pinch of salt, sugar, yeast, and also coconut water and coconut malai. Yeah. So what we have done this added one right. We have soaked the rice, textured soya, and also beaten rice for the night. And then in the next day, today morning, we have made the batter. All are
Yes, this appam, we have added yeast, salt, and sugar to ferment, and also we have added coconut water, tender coconut water, and coconut malai. To ensure to enhance the taste and also the increase the fermentation. So this is about soya batter. What we are going to do appam. Okay, and tofu moli. If I talk about moli, my students will talk about a little bit a small history about the moli. What actually is the fish moli today? But I'm using right now is the tofu moli. Okay, it's a protein which ensures lactose free. Okay, and no milk is used here. If I use all coconut milk, no milk products. Okay, so can you please tell me about the moli dish? So moli, basically going back to the 15th century in the Portuguese, there was a lady who was named Moli, and she tried the fish moli curry, and that's how this name came into existence as moli curry. So over here we have taken the tofu. So over here we have marinated the tofu. Chef, can you tell what is marinated? Yes, as you have seen in the presentation, tofu takes all the flavors.
Salt, pepper, and curry leaf powder. It is a dehydrated curry leaf powder which we have used. We have just taken out the curry leaf and put it in the microwave, and we have dried it out. And that one we are going to use it in the marination. I'm using little coconut oil for this, for the marination. So that the curry leaves will, the curry leaf flavor will infuse nicely inside the tofu. So that while we are grilling, it tastes, the curry leaf taste will come. As you all know, in the tofu moli, there's a lot of flavors of curry leaves and coconut milk. So we ensured we use dried curry leaf powder.
Tofu, you can absorb the flavors very well. It has a porous texture, and once you it absorbs the flavors, you will not really know whether it is tofu or paneer. And in India, and most of the restaurants, you will be using a silken tofu, which is more like a Chinese type of tofu. But in the Indian market, there are commercially, we have more than 2,000 soy milk and tofu manufacturers who make tofu little harder, more closer to paneer what we use it. Okay, so if you are trying to replace the paneer, maybe you can look at the hard tofu. Otherwise, you can look at the silken or soft tofu, which goes mostly into the Oriental cuisine.
You need to slightly grill it just to get a little color. As Sir was telling, it is mostly used in Asian. Actually, it has been introduced in Chinese, and mostly Japanese, Korean. A lot of people use of tofu a lot in their preparations. Now,
Yeah.
yes, so sorry.
In India, in the tofu and soy milk production for the last, I think, 15 years or so, every year we are seeing almost 25% growth. A lot of people don't even realize that it is growing so fast and it is available everywhere. But tofu is really, soy milk and tofu is really growing very well. Similarly, the textured soy protein, the nuggets and granules which we are using in this recipe, this is one of the most popular soy food product in the country. Almost 650,000 tons, 650,000 tons of nuggets and granules we use in India every year. This is one of the most popular product and it has 50% protein in it and it can be very easily added into most of the recipes because it has a texture similar to meat. Sorry, sir.
No problem, no problem. So now I'm starting with the moli, okay? As we put coconut oil, mustard seeds, then we add some curry leaves. Let the curry leaves slightly temper. Then we add little turmeric in the oil so that it gives more color. Actually, normally we add chili powder and turmeric in the oil so that the gravy will be in the same color, like, you know, red color or yellow color. So I'm adding little turmeric in this. Little onions. It's the same moli recipe, only with the change is tofu. Instead of fish, we are using the tofu. Then we will add in this coconut milk. This is an extract, fresh coconut milk, which you can see here. It is the first extract of coconut milk, which we will use it. Once we slightly saute the onions, curry leaves, tempered the mustard leaves, green chilies, and curry leaves, we will add this coconut milk slowly into this. When you're adding coconut milk, keep it at a low temperature so that it doesn't curdle. I'm adding little more green chilies. Then I'm going to add some salt, seasoning, salt and little black pepper powder.
You know, you'll be very surprised to know way back in 1930, Mahatma Gandhi first tried to introduce soy into our daily diet. So that time, unfortunately, we didn't have a pressure cooker because soy has very rich in protein and also rich in fat. So like rajma or something, if you don't pressure cook it, it will not be very palatable. So that time, because of its high protein, high fat, when they tried to cook it, so it wasn't very soft and palatable. So that couldn't succeed. Now, of course, technologies have changed. So what I'm trying to say is in 1930s itself, Mahatma Gandhi wanted to introduce soy and realized the goodness of soy and wanted to introduce. And you will be surprised to know some of the northern hill states, whether it is south northeast hill states or Uttarakhand or Himachal, they have been traditionally consuming soy. They eat something called bhat, kali bhat. That they, and also we have a lot of fermented soy products in the northeast like tempeh. Like that, we have a lot of fermented soy products in Northeast, but they are all like a cottage scale or home produced. You don't see it in the market.
So now I will start appam. So batter is fermented. We have soaked everything overnight, and in the morning I just added the coconut malai and coconut water, so that it will ferment little more and it has a
Did
good
you
taste.
add any soy into this?
Yes, textured soya.
Oh, textured soy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I never knew in appam batter you can add textured soy. Good.
By meantime, this is getting one boil. After that, you can add the tofu into this. Ritika, just slowly immerse the tofu.
So are you going to cook this further?
For about
Okay.
5 minutes.
Simmer. By now you would have realized I am also interested in cooking and I enjoy cooking. Of course, that's a big problem for my wife because I spoil the whole kitchen.
So you can see here the texture, everything is like how you eat the normal appam, but it is also having protein. Protein and starch is going together in the appam. Rice as a starch and protein as a soya texture.
Okay.
You can take out. Take out. It has to get a light color. Once it gets color. By meantime, in the tofu, we'll put some tomatoes just to get the softness. We have already added the coconut milk in this, and we will at the end we will finish with little coconut cream just to give a thick flavor.
So, do you think we can also use soy milk in this?
Yes, we can use it, but the coconut.
Yeah.
So I have preferred to use the coconut
traditional.
milk. Yes. Slightly, you need to increase the temperature so that it have a simmer, one single boil. At the end, I'll finish still coconut cream. Once I put the coconut cream, I will get down the temperature so that it should not get curdled. So the gravy will also become thick. I'm not using any oil here. It's just the right, which I have just seasoned it with some coconut oil in the starting. That is what it is. After that, I'm just using the same thing. Take a duster and wipe it. Give me a bowl. You can take out. It has a perfect color, light brown color for the apple. Another 2 minutes, I think I am ready to serve the tofu moli, and appam is already ready here. Like these are edible flowers. We are just putting it for presentation.
Wow, that's really good. That me being a South Indian myself and being a hardcore non-vegetarian, I am really getting intrigued by such a good appam and tofu moli. I would definitely like to taste this if this was for me. So continuing, I'll let Harshit handle the next part of the session.
I would like to call Dr. Suresh once again upon the stage to tell us about the texture use of soy in bakery products and as a meat analog.
Yeah, thank you. And the recipes are really looking very delicious, yummy. So I am going to talk a little different now. I'm going to talk about the bakery applications and also meat analogs. Don't worry about the number of slides in there. Okay, I will try to move fast and then try to cover up the things at the time some time we lost. So here my idea is use of soy in the bakery products. It's not just the nutrition I'm going to talk about. As I was mentioning earlier, soy is definitely healthy, nutritious with a lot of protein, and also it has a lot of functional benefits, especially in products like bakery applications and also in the meat analogs. So soy, of course, maybe in the last 30, maybe early 90s or so, 30, 35 years only, we have realized the health benefits because of the science. We have realized the health benefits. But before that, soy has been used for its functionality in the food system. You'll be very surprised to know soy, the amino acid profile of soy is such that in the same amino acid chain, you will find some fat binding and also water binding groups. So what it does is, because of its the unique structure of the protein, so it can perform certain functions in the bread, in the food system. So here I'm only talking about the bakery. So in the bakery system, addition of soy, if you are looking at cakes, because of the unique structure of the protein and also lecithin, you can replace eggs up to 100%. If you are looking at vegan product or a cake, without using any egg, you can actually make a vegan cake by using soy flour. So here it has functional benefit and also economic benefit. Simple example is, I'll spend a little time here and the rest I will show some pictures. So the economic benefit is, today the egg price is growing like anything. Today commercially, you don't get any egg less than 5 rupees. Maybe When I was buying recently, I was getting one egg for 12 rupees at a retail price. But as a commercial scale, you will be getting it at 5 to 6 rupees. You can use something what we call the lecithinated flour, where you add soy flour and lecithin. Addition of just 12.5 grams of that lecithinated soy flour can replace eggs up to 100%. So the cost of that lecithinated soy flour, 12.5 grams, is around 75-80 paisa. Even if you take 1.5 rupees, like the margin and other thing, it is so economical for the baker. Suppose somebody is looking at a regular cake with reduced egg content, so you can use that. It has economic benefits. Definitely, it has a more nutritional benefits because the amount of protein you get from that is a little higher than what you get from the eggs. And you can use products like flour, isolate, and lecithin can be used. Again, in case of bread, because as I was mentioning about the structure of the protein, the soy protein can actually hold water better and holds more water, and this water will be tightly bound. So the advantage of this is, suppose if you are making 3%, you are not talking a lot of soy into that. About only 3% of wheat flour is replaced with soy flour. So what it does is it improves the nutritional profile of the product, and also it will hold more water. For a baker, it actually yields more bread. You can actually make more bread. And also, as I was mentioning earlier, this soy protein binds the water tightly. Because of tight binding of water by the protein, suppose if you are making a 400-gram bread, you need about 475 grams of the dough to make a 400-gram bread. Because its water absorption is good, so the loss of water during baking will be less. The bake loss, what we call, is less. So to make a 400-gram bread, we need only 455 grams of the dough. So that means a baker actually can make more bread and also make more money because he's reducing the amount of dough needed for that. On top of it, another big advantage is bread. If you put it in the market, maybe after 2 days, it will become stale because it will be losing moisture. But whereas the soy protein tightly binds the water, so this water will retain in the bread, so the bread will be softer for longer time. So these are some of the functional benefits which will increase the yield, which will increase the shelf life, which will improve the nutrition and also give economic benefit. So here we have advantage for the baker, the businessman, advantage for the consumer. So something like soy flour can be used. Similarly, in the cookies, where we use skim milk powder. So you can use defatted soy flour added with whey powder. You can actually replace skim milk powder. Today's skim milk powder cost is around 200 rupees or so, and which is growing. So this is again offers a benefit, economic benefit, and as well as nutrition benefit to the baker as well as to the consumer. Another very interesting observation of functionality is, so it takes less oil during frying. You remember I said it has a unique structure. Suppose if you add 5% of defatted soy flour in any fried product, whether you make it like murukku or donut or anything, so this will allow us in taking less oil during frying. From our studies, like in Bhujia, we did some study. In that, soy takes reduces the oil absorption as high as 20%. Suppose, sorry, it increases the protein content that is added. Coating, yeah, that can also be used. Coating can be used. So this is another advantage that there are the two advantages of this. One is the consumers are today looking at low calorie products. So here you will give a low calorie option. You increase the protein content. And for the company, if somebody is making this, they will reduce oil absorption because oil is a more expensive commodity compared to the other soy flour and the other ingredients. So it is beneficial for the business person or the baker or whoever it is doing that, and benefit to the consumers because they can reduce the calories, they can reduce the fat content, they can increase the protein content without compromising any taste. So this, as I already mentioned, it can use up to 3 to 5%, improves water absorption. You can use soy protein concentrate isolates. You can use in any yeast leavened product. Of course, in roti also you can use it. Roti will be softer for longer time. Suppose you make roti and send it, and maybe after an hour or so it will become hard. So here you can actually keep the roti softer. Nutrition is always there, but roti will be softer for longer time. So like that you can use in any of the ingredients. And this I have already mentioned. You will get more shelf life. The bread can be kept in the market for longer time so that your returns will be less. So that is also an additional advantage. On top of it, because soy protein is rich in protein, almost 50%, more than 50% protein in soy flour, and also quality is at par with milk and egg. So you are actually improving the quality and also quantity of the protein. Yeah, see, this is what when you really cannot make much difference whether soy without soy. This is without soy. This is with soy, and this is it. Also, there is a something I didn't mention here in a full fat soy flour. There is a native enzyme called lipoxygenase. So this lipoxygenase bleaches the color. That is why in most of the brown bread they add less than 1% of enzyme active soy flour. It bleaches some of the pigment and it will give white color to the bread. So this is another advantage. And this is with soy and without soy, you cannot make much of a difference. And nutritionally, functionally, it is superior. This is what I was referring earlier. In this, we have used same amount of dough to make this baguette. So without soy, this was same amount of dough was giving 724 grams of the baguette. Whereas by adding soy, with same amount of dough was taken, it was giving 748 grams, because this is holding water better and has a less bake loss. So the baker can make a more bread. So you don't need so much of dough to make the same amount of bread. So that this is additional advantage if you are looking. Also, I usually don't say this because soy is high in protein. So what it does is when you are baking, see, most of the time, 60% of the baking is done in, not 60%, 90% of the baking is done in the first 60% of the time. In 12 minutes, you will be done. The rest of the time in the baking is to give color to the product. Okay, there is a concept called brown and serve. So in that brown and serve, what they do is they do this 90% baking and sell it as a chilled or a packaged product. The consumers will go and bake that the rest of the time. So because soy is rich in protein, this protein, when it during the baking process, when reacts with sugar and gives more color. So your baking time can also be less if you are looking at adding soy flour to the bakery product. So this is what, when we increase the protein content, soy flour content up to 10% at the same baking conditions, this is more browner in color. So you can actually reduce your baking time, or you can reduce your sugar content, because mostly bread sugar is added to give the color. So this is another added advantage. So this is control. This is added with soy. So as I was mentioning earlier, in skim milk replacement also, this is one economic benefit. You can, if you are looking at vegan product, you can look at this option. Defatted soy flour or soy protein isolate can be used to make skim milk replacement. Oil reduction, I have already discussed. So this gives a benefit of calories, prices, and shelf life. We have done number of studies in India, outside. This was actually we did in Africa. There is a product called Mandazi. In Mandazi, I was demonstrating that, but we didn't measure the oil reduction. So what we did was we just put it in the control. We put it on a paper, and for the same time, see, you can see the small spot of oil was sticking to the paper, whereas with addition of soy, there was no oil coming. This is only to demonstrate during the time of actual trials. So you can use various products like full fat soy flour, high PDA soy flour, high PDA soy flour with lecithin, isolated soy protein concentrate. These are various ingredients that can be used to in the bakery products. Quickly, I will talk about the meat analogs or plant-based meat. This is one sector in the last 5-6 years, we have seen a lot of growth in that. And also in India, also we are going to see lot of growth and opportunities in the plant-based meat products. And this was a study conducted in 2021, I think. Yeah, in 2021 May, it was conducted, and they found out that Indian consumers are highly receptive to meat analogs. That means people are looking for vegetarian options or vegan options, and also people are looking at this particular option because of the environmental reasons, because to grow animal protein is more burden on the environment because it uses more natural resources like land and water, and also produces methane and gases which are not so good for the environment. Whereas plant, if you adopt this using the extreme screw extrusion technology, what we use to make this is a food technology that will help in converting the plant-based protein into meat kind of texture. We see a lot of opportunity, especially the celebrity couple. I'm sure a lot of you all know that Ritesh Deshmukh and Janelia, they are associated with a company called Imagine Meats. Since then, there is a lot of noise around this. A lot of people are looking at this, and this is just 2 days old. Yeah, this is only 3 days back story which came in actually in Singapore newspaper. Growing appetite in India for plant-based meat. So this is something which we see a lot of growth and opportunity and interest among the consumers. I'm sure the hospitality industry know better than me because you are dealing more with consumers on a day-to-day basis than I am. So this is textured soy protein, like what we are looking at, whether this product or this product. This can be used not only as a meat analog, it can also be used as a meat extender. What it does is it holds a lot of water. So if you are looking at the ground meat, which is about 4,000 rupees, I'm just, I don't know the exact costing. So I thought it's around 4,000 rupees, 10 kg of ground meat. So if you use textured soy protein, 7 kg you take, which is our 2,800, add 80 rupees, I have taken a little higher price, textured soy protein 1.8 kg. So which will take lot of water, and it will give the same product similar to 10 kg of meat, ground meat. That is only, your cost is only 2,888. You are not only giving the vegetarian option or improving the product because of its textured soy protein has a lot of water absorption capability. So it will improve the texture of the meat and also reduce cost to the processor or the maker. So this is something we can look at. And meat analogs, they appear like meat. They have a texture similar to meat, nutritional value similar to meat, and also, in fact, you can actually improve the nutritional value of this because it is in our hand. You can design the way you want it. So nutritional characteristics similar to meat are improved, and cooking characteristics similar to meat. And there is a lot of interest among the consumers for this particular product. These are some of the pictures. Why soy protein? Functionally unique. It's similar to lean meat products like chicken and other things where with less fat, and that provides meat-like texture and stabilizes fat and water. That is what textured soy protein or soy protein isolate is being used in the processed meat industry for number of years, because it will keep the fat and protein together, so that especially if you do a frozen meat product, the fat or water oozes out of the packet. So whereas the addition of 4-5% of soy protein isolate actually improves the texture. Nutritionally, it is equivalent. Economic source and hydration of soy protein will give you like a lean meat kind of texture. And it's available in the dry form. And also it has a lot of functional properties, whether it is fat binding, water binding, viscosity, gelling capability, enhancing color, or clean cut when you are making a processed product. So like that, soy protein has a lot of advantages in the meat industry as well as in meat analogs or plant-based meat products. So this will give us an opportunity to meet the demand of the today's consumers who are looking at vegan or vegetarian products. That is in brief about this. And if you have more questions, we can discuss at the end of the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us so much insightful suggestions and more insight on the bakery products which can be produced out of soy. I'm sure a lot of my friends and colleagues of the same batch are into baking, and they can definitely take a lot of information from this small segment about soy being implemented in bakery products.
Moving on, I will again like to hand over the stage to the IIHM chefs for another food demonstration.
Good evening, everyone. So today I am here to demonstrate some recipes in front of you for TSP. So we are using soya keema, which I'll make a keema pav out of it for you all. So we'll start with that first of all. Give me some ghee. Ghee. We'll take some ghee in a pan. No, enough. Give me the whole spices. Right. So we'll allow the ghee to melt. We'll add a couple of green cardamom, one bay leaf to it. Chopped garlic. We'll add a little bit of kasuri methi to it. And now we'll start with our chopped garlic. Okay. We'll saute the garlic. Give me the keema, which is already done. We'll fry the garlic till it turns golden brown. Rubber patches.
The chef is making soy
the ginger.
keema, which is
Chopped
made
ginger.
using the textured soy protein, one of the things I was mentioning. So this is a very, very rich in protein, or 50% protein, very economical. There is one small problem with this product is this was initially introduced as a poor man food. Way back in 70s, this was introduced as a poor man food. Unfortunately, even now it carries that image. You know, way back in 2000, when I joined with this organization, there was not many people who know about this soy and other things. So my boss, an American, he invited a lot of us for a Christmas party. So we went there, and one lady came to me and said, "Oh, I like this. What they call is this nuggets." She said, "Oh, I like these nuggets." I was so excited. In 2000, very few people say that, "Oh, I like this and I know soya." So immediately she said, "My dog loves it." So that is how that this particular product, way back in 75, was introduced as a poor man food, and unfortunately, it still carries that. That is why a lot of entrepreneurs, when they come to me, I said, we are promoting a product which is healthy, nutritious, and a lot of benefit. So if you sell it as a cheaper price, people will take it. It doesn't have any value. So that's why soy milk, to make one liter of soy milk, it would cost only 15-16 rupees. But if you look at this particular product, probably this is available for 145 rupees. To make 1 liter, it is only 15, 16, or maybe 20 rupees. Because from 1 kg soybean, you make about 20 liters. From 1 kg, you make about 8 liters of soy milk. It is very economical. But when you say it as economical and sell it as economical, people don't believe its goodness. So,
no. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So one more thing we have that while making that keema is that somehow we feel that how to get rid of little soya aroma from it. So the best part is whenever you're soaking it, add some salt, a little bit of garam masala into the water. soak it for some time, and that enhances the flavor. So once you squeeze it, then the fresh flavor of spices in it, and you can use it as you make your own keema and all completely with that. Powdered spices. So here, onion is about to get caramelized. We'll add some powdered spices to it. Water. Or curd. Curd. So we also making some koftas over here. The koftas are done with isolate. We have used soya isolate in making the kofta. So the ingredients are, just show me the ingredients. Normal ingredients which we have used is grated paneer in it, soya isolate in it. I've used some carrot and beans, chopped carrot beans which are sauteed, some grated boiled potatoes, and some finished koftas are in front of us. So these are the koftas which we have already done. We'll serve it you in the yellow gravy, a base of yellow gravy. Give me some curd. So just to enhance the flavor a little more, we'll add little curd to our spices. Give me the yellow. Tomatoes. So now we will allow that to get cooked nicely. So what is the ratio of the So while making the yellow gravy, the ratio of onion and tomato is 4:1. Whenever we're making 4 parts of onion and 1 part of tomato, and to enhance that flavor, we'll add little curd to it, so that gives a nice richness to our gravy. Grish, you can fry the koftas, deep fry the koftas once again because these are half done. We'll add some soya keema to it. Gravy is getting heated, and we are also making some puri out of soya flour. We are using some soya to make some puri. The dough is needed, which is in combination of whole wheat flour and soya flour. So Rahul, just roll some puri.
Okay, I'm Kavita Reddy, so I'll be your next speaker. So before I start with mine, I've realized we are getting exactly the amount of time, not getting any extension from Suresh. So I'm going to set the stage. Anybody here who knows how much protein an adult requires in a day? I'm digging the nutrition course you must have done in your graduation. Any idea? Equal to body weight. Very good. Equal to body weight. That is, if you are 50 kgs, you require about 50 grams of protein if you are an adult. What if you are a child?
can try it and keep it.
No Google looking, huh? I can see some taking out the phone. For a child, it is 2 grams per kg body weight. So if a kid is about 20 kgs, he or she requires about 40 grams. Now, let's say I'm wishful thinking that I'm only 50 kgs. So I have a lot of microbes in my body. So how much do you think the microbes in my body weigh? About 10 grams? You know the answer. 50 grams, 1 kg, 10 kgs, 25 kgs. Any idea? 1 gram? Or do you think it's in grams or in kgs? How many of you all think it's in grams? Kgs? Milligrams? Micrograms? Kids at the back? No idea? So let's say I am 50 kgs. I will have anywhere between 2 to 5 kgs of microbes in my body. So if you kill them, you lose 2 to 3 kgs weight. So if we take indiscriminate amount of antibiotics, you can lose weight. Oh, don't do that. I'm just joking. So it's very bad. Yeah, exactly. If you take indiscriminately. So we have about 2 to 5 kgs of microbes in our body, and our large intestine is the place where most of them live, and 70% of our immunity is monitored by these small pets we have in our body. So we need to look after that very well. So what do you think they eat? Protein, carbohydrates, or fats? No idea. They eat fiber. The whatever carbohydrate we don't digest, that goes into our large intestine, and that's what they eat. So make sure. And where does fiber come from? A, plants, B, animals, C, plants and animals.
Plants, ma'am.
Only plants. So I run a clinic. So some of them come and tell me, I eat a lot of fiber. Then how come you have so much chronic constipation? They're like, I eat chicken every day. So the fiber, that is protein, that is not fiber. Fiber comes only from plants, fruits and vegetables and whole grains. So we don't get anything from it, but that goes to all the pets we have in our large intestine, and they look after our health. It's very, very, very important for us. I should give some time to the chef also to explain the recipe.
Okay, so now we are doing soya flour puri. So we have used soya flour as well as wheat flour in it to give it a little stretch and binding. And you can see the puris, which are like a normal puris itself, puffing up nicely. Just we have to maintain it on a proper temperature, and they taste also great with some kofta itself. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Just one thing. You remember I just mentioned that the soy takes less oil. This is one product in puri. If you have defatted soy flour, you are not only boosting the protein and also actually reducing the fat and make it more healthy and nutritious. Before we go to the next presentation, we have Riaza here. Okay.
I would like to call upon Ms. Iza and let her talk about the sustainability products today.
Hi, my name is Reiza, and I'm the founder of Brani Enterprises. So basically, I work in the sustainability sector where we're trying to use crop residues, specifically wheat bran, to convert it into single-use tableware and cutleries. So we're currently in the R&D stage. We're preparing with different binders and things like that. So the problem that we're trying to tackle here is with the single-use plastic ban, our attention has really gone towards paper products. But do we really need to cut down trees to cater to our convenience lifestyle? It doesn't make too much sense, right? When we have so much waste around. So we're tapping into the milling industry waste, which gets generated in tons and tons, and trying to convert that to cater to our throwaway culture. So I'm looking forward to interacting with a lot of people here and understanding what is the requirements of the industry so that we can develop new products. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us the insightful information about sustainability products, which we require on this time and date after the plastic ban, single-use plastic ban. I'm really sure that many industries are going to work on the same. Thank you.
Yes.
Time for another fact. Did you guys know soya beans are also called meat without bones? This is because they are very versatile beans in comparison to the other beans. They are packed with protein, which are very similar to the protein in some meat, dairy products, and eggs. It serves as a great alternative for vegans and vegetarians.
I would like to now call upon Dr. Ratan Sharma, who will be giving us a knowledge about soybean oil and high oleic soybean oil in the hospitality sector, which definitely would spark an interest in chefs to innovate gastronomy. I would like to apologize. Dr. Kavita will be taking over from here, and later on, Dr. Ratan Sharma will be joining us. A small change in the event plans. Dr. Ratan Sharma will be taking over.
Sorry. Clean control. Nice. It's already. So here are some powers which we'll be giving it along with the keema, where we know the best combination keema is there. So this is a vegetarian version of keema pav.
We'll be moving on to the next part of our session. We have with us Dr. Kavita Reddy, who was previously giving you a good session while the puris were being cooked. And now I would like to give a small introduction about her. Dr. Kavita Reddy, she is the owner of Shreya Nutrition, will be enlightening us on the nutrition and health benefits of soy. Dr. Reddy did her master's in food and nutrition from APAU, Hyderabad, and her PhD from Central Food Technological Research Institute, Mysore, in food science. She conducted nutrition-based workshops for doctors, dietitians, nutrition students, etc., during her period as nutrition consultant with the Ussec. She does a nutrition consulting for various lifestyle diseases like weight management, diabetes, heart problems, etc., and conducts workshops for corporates, schools, colleges, clubs, etc. She also authored a book, The Indian Soy Cookbook, which all of you will be getting a copy of this evening, published by Rupa & Co. Presently, she is based in Hyderabad and also works as a guest faculty taking nutrition and food sciences course at International Institute of Hotel Management. I warmly welcome you, ma'am, to give us a more insightful talk on this evening.
Sorry, we initially thought of giving Kavita's book to all of you while going, but now it is out of print, so we couldn't get the copies. So maybe in future, once we get, we will share with you. But now we have only one book with us. Okay, so we are working with the publisher to get that.
I'm so sorry, but I'm only going to show you like this. If you want to buy, it would be great. But otherwise also, if you attend my next program, I will give it there. We have a very professional photographer who took very lovely pictures. And I'm not I cook at home every day, but I'm not so interested in cooking. I'm more interested in writing rather than cooking. But I have to feed my husband and the kids, so I cook. Sorry for that. We really tried to get, because I get 40% off on the books, but we couldn't get on time. So next time I promise. Please attend my program and you get my book. So, that, can you hear me? Yeah. So I'm a teacher. I even teach nutrition at Ussec-Iihm Hyderabad, so I can shout. But today I have a bit of acidity and cough, so I don't want to shout. See, in 2000, when I joined ASA, that is American Soybean Association, I used to go everywhere to promote soy. But that time, unfortunately, there was nothing available in the market except chunks and granules. So I had to think about what to make, because the only thing people would ask, except the meal maker, that time they used to call it as meal maker, what else is there? So I started making recipes and all. And then our office said, why don't you write a book? So I wrote the book. The recipes mostly my mother did. I wrote it very nicely, of course, and I designed the book nicely, and Rupa grabbed it. So I can only take the credit for the writing of the book. But that time there was nothing, absolutely. I wish I had joined ASA now, because if I have to go and do a workshop, everything is available and it's much easier to convince people about how to use soy. Now, I'm not going to dwell too much upon protein, because everybody knows. I've already asked how much protein you require. And how many of you all are non-vegetarians here? Almost. Oh, very few, only 6, 7. Okay, how many of you all eat every day? 2. How many of you all eat every meal? Every meal? Breakfast? So we have one true non-vegetarian. The rest are all so the rest, a non-vegetarian is somebody who eats all 3 meals animal products. So if you're not eating all 3 meals animal products, you are not getting complete protein. Complete protein means what all amino acids we require are available only in animal proteins. There is one exception, that is soy. So if vegetarians, or even the so-called non-vegetarians who don't eat animal products every meal, they should include soy at least 2-3 times in a week. So you have tofu, you have meal, granules, chunks, you have milk, you have so many options to include. That's why soy has become more popular these days, because of the protein. Now, I won't talk about all the, excuse me. Yeah, thank you. Now, anemia, if you have daughters at home, and these days I see some men also have anemia. That is, hemoglobin levels are below normal. So when you go take your daughter to the doctor, hemoglobin levels are less. Generally, people say blood is less. And the doctor says, they give iron capsules, and then they say eat good food. What does good food mean? The doctor means protein, because hemoglobin, heme is iron, globin is protein. So we just concentrate on iron, forget about the protein. So that's why it's very important that we take enough protein. So if you are not a non-vegetarian, then where do you get protein from? And getting enough protein is very, very important. So I'm not telling don't eat other dals and all. Dals have about 20 to 25% protein. But soy has 40 to 50% protein. So if you're going to eat arhar dal 3 times a week, then you can eat soy also 3 times a week. That way you increase the quality of protein compared to quantity. Quantity is also important, but quality is very, very important. With soy, you get both. So that's why people who are anemic, very, very important to regularly just keep in mind and start increasing the usage of soy in your households, and of course in hospitality industry. Now, if anybody is anemic, remember not to drink tea at least 2 hours after the meal. We become very fashionable after our lunch or dinner. We try to order coffee, tea, which was not our habit before. But we have to remember that tea inhibits absorption of iron. So we have lunch to finish 4 o'clock, just like our parents and all did. Give it at some time. Don't drink tea, coffee immediately after your meals, even in the night. It's not good. Now, the next most important thing is calcium. How many of you are any vegans here? No, veganism is becoming very, very popular. Also vegetarianism, but you have to remember that calcium is not absorbed. So if I ask a vegan client, what are you doing for your calcium? I'm eating spinach, I'm eating methi, I'm eating. But you have to remember, if you take 30 milligrams of calcium from dairy, like milk or paneer or something, maybe 80, let's say about 40 to 50% of it is absorbed. Same thing if you think like Popeye and all, no? They are promoting spinach so much, but you only absorb 5 to 10% of calcium. So I'm not saying don't become vegan, but be informed. Remember that from dairy, you are absorbing 30 to 40% of calcium, whereas from spinach or methi, you are absorbing only 5% of calcium. So remember that. Then make changes in your diet. What happens with soy is a okay source of calcium. And if you take soy milk, it doesn't have much calcium, but they add calcium to it. So if you're going to go buy Sofit or something, just read the label. So if it says fortified with calcium, then buy that soy milk, because that calcium is absorbed as well as the calcium which is there in dairy milk. So read that. That is a simple point, because there are soy milk brands which don't fortify it also. So buy the ones which are fortified with calcium. Next, I'm only touching on what I feel will be new for you. Now, lactose intolerance. We've been talking about lactose. What is lactose? Lactose is the milk sugar. And why is it causing so much problem is we have to release an enzyme called lactase. And this lactase breaks down the lactose and our body is happy. But for some reason, some people do not have enough lactase, or they don't have lactase at all. Or as you grow older, less amount of lactase is produced. So what happens? The lactose doesn't get digested when we drink milk or eat any milk products. That lactose goes into our small and large intestines, where I told you that 2-3 kgs of our pets are living. They attack lactose and they split it very abnormally, not the usual way our body lactase breaks it up. So that releases a lot of gas, and that causes a lot of discomfort. So if somebody older comes to me and then suddenly they say, all these days I was fine drinking milk and all, don't know now what is happening. Actually, they don't even say that. They just come with the problem. Then I tell them, remove milk products from your diet for 3 weeks and let's see. 80% of them are fine. Then we slowly get it back again. So lactose intolerance, if it is there, it is not fatal, or it is not nothing big problem, but every day abdominal discomfort, which becomes very bad to handle and quality of life goes down. So that is why you have to get away from lactose for a while. Then when you introduce, your doctor probably will give you lactase tablets to digest, or you just take out milk products from your diet. That's where soy and soy products can come into picture. So instead of paneer, you can start using tofu. Instead of milk, you can start using soy milk. Now, we lived in Delhi for a long time. So even if I make paneer, my Punjabi friends, my building was full of Punjabis. They would say, ah, she's again giving us tofu. When I give paneer also. And I'm like, no, this is paneer. The Punjab, any Punjabi here? Yes, Punjabis are very proud that they know paneer so well. They invented the paneer. So they are like, what is she talking about? And that's why I used to like, they don't know. Let's give tofu and they will think it is paneer. Give paneer, they will think it is tofu. So whatever I feel like that day, I would give that. So not many people know if you add all those spices and all, you will not know. But with milk, yes. That's why I don't like to call soy milk. I like to call it soy beverage because once you say milk, they start psychologically feeling that taste should come. So just say soy beverage. So you have so many beverages, another type of beverage. So that will be easier for the younger generation to adapt to it. One of the guests was saying, like from childhood, we should start introducing kids to tofu and soy products so that they don't they don't think of it as an alternate to paneer or a cheaper version of paneer. So everything should get its equal respect or place in our cuisine. Now there are a lot of children who are autistic. They can't take gluten, they can't take casein. For these children, soy products are very good alternates. So that's one group of people. And another group is those who can't take gluten. So if they can't take gluten, for the protein, you can always use soy products to replace the protein content. Now, soy fiber, I already told you that fiber is the food for the microbes in your large intestine. And 70% of our immunity comes from them. And if you don't look after them properly, the good bacteria will go down and the pathogenic bacteria number goes up. So we have to be very careful with the balance of good bacteria. And for that, fiber is necessary. You eat a lot of vegetables and all, and soy also is a good source of fiber. And fiber is not only food for microbes. If you take in good amounts, it reduces cholesterol as well as glucose in our blood. So if you are a diabetic or a person who has high cholesterol or triglycerides in your blood, eat more of fiber so that these can be regulated. Very, very, very important. Now, this is that's why I knew we won't have time. That's why I told you before that microbes, we have anywhere between 2 to 4 to 5 kgs of our body weight is nothing but the microbiota, and we have to be very, very careful with it. Isoflavones. Okay, just remember one small thing, that with every gram of protein, soy protein, we get some isoflavones, which have somewhat similar structure like our hormone estrogen. Both men and women have little bit, men also have little bit estrogen, women have lots of it. So this estrogen, though isoflavones look like estrogen, they don't function like estrogen. So men, don't be afraid that you will get any female characteristics if you eat soy, because lot of people have this myth, that Suresh gets that question. Not many people will ask me such questions. So he says, oh, men will develop and fertility will go down. He's like, look at China. They have been eating soy for so much. And we are also going to beat them in, or did we beat them already in population? About to. So we don't have to worry about men's fertility, testosterone and all. There is no scientific evidence for that at all. Safely you can consume. Only thing what I feel is don't do over anything. Ati vrishti, anavrishti. Na? If WhatsApp mein something comes good, means everybody starts doing that good. Something is bad, everybody stops that. Did you know? You put teeth in Coke, teeth will disappear. Things like that. So don't overdo it. It's a good food which has lot of health benefits, good for our heart, good for diabetic people, has a lot of protein, has a lot of health benefits. It's good for our bones also. Where is the bone picture? Okay, as we grow older, our bone tends to become a bit fragile, a bit porous. So we want our bones to be as strong as possible and dense for a long time. So soy isoflavones help our bones to be more dense for a longer time. So it's good for our bones. There are so many nutritional as well as health benefits because of eating soy regularly. So just like you eat moong dal 3 times a week, arhar dal 3 times a week, eat soy products also 3 times a week. One day you eat granules, one meal you eat tofu, and another meal something else. So that way, if you incorporate, children will learn from us. See, wherever we go and come back, in the end, we eat what our parents eat, and without getting bored. Any other food, we get bored after 1 month. So what we eat as a child is what the child will, as old, maybe 35, 40, they'll come back to the same food. So if you can include, and there are many studies which say most of the health benefits come when it is introduced when you are a child or a teenager. So all of us can start and reap the health and nutritional benefits without going overboard. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, I'll be here to answer them for you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now moving on, we have Dr. Ratan Sharma who will take over the stage to share knowledge about the soybean oil and high oleic soybean oil in the hospitality sector, which definitely would spark an interest in chef, and they will emanate a lot of gastronomy in the kitchens. So over to you, sir. Can we have the AV?
Yeah. Can you give me the access to share? I'm unable to share actually. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Yeah, okay. Sorry, actually I'm traveling and I'm in a hotel, so there is sometimes internet issue and battery problem. So I will actually so I will cover, actually the time is just 15 minutes. So I will cover mostly on the high oleic soybean oil, use of high oleic soybean oil in hospitality industry. So 1 second, just 1 second.
Is it Apple charger?
No, it's not Apple. It's a laptop charger. It's my room. 724.
Sorry, I think this is not no need for this one. It's like what charger?
It's charger for the laptop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
in the room. Yeah, in my room. 724. Yeah, you just bring it. Yeah, please. Yeah. Sorry about that. So if you see, India is working on eliminating the trans fats, and you might have heard the announcements about this, that by 2020, the use of trans fat will be minimized to its lowest. So in that scenario, this high oleic soybean oil is the most suitable oil because it doesn't produce trans fats during the frying, and the frying frequency of this oil is very high in comparison to traditional oils. So who can get benefit from soybean oil? High oleic soybean oil offers big benefits to many end users of soybean oil by producing a higher functional oil. So restaurants and food services companies can use, because this high oleic soybean oil could withstand with most high heat situations. So this can be used in restaurants. Then supermarket brands, high oleic soybean oil helps snack food companies to enhance the shelf life for their products. Health conscious consumers, it is very good for them because it doesn't develop the trans fats. Industrial, there are several industrial uses, so I will not go into the details of this. So if you see the comparison of conventional soybean, commodity soybean oil and high oleic soybean oil, I will just talk about the high oleic. You will see the conventional oil contains 22% oleic, whereas this high oleic soybean oil contains 75 to 80% oleic acid. High oleic soybean, where it can be used, it can be used in food processing and different kind of food manufacturing for the industrial fries like frozen potato, chicken, and because of it's a higher temperature stability, so deep frying is a very good option for with this high oleic soybean oil. Then it can be used chicken and seafood products, frying instant, wheat flour based noodles. Then snack foods, different kind of chips, roasted nuts, and oil coating. Then baked goods like spray oil for crackers, base oil for cookies, sartines, breakfast, nutritional bars. Then can be used in frostings, breading, and batter mixes, liquid nut, and in liquid non-dairy creamers. Excuse me for a second. So if you see, like, it has 2 to 3 times longer fry life than conventional oil, cleaner, it's very clean oil, and lighter flavor, good blending properties, and then higher smoking points, 10 degree higher than commodity soybean oils. It is approximately 240 degrees centigrade, very good oil for deep frying. It's very easy to clean because reduced polymer formation, and because the cooking surface is less gummy, so it is very easy to clean up. Then 2 to 3 times longer shelf life in packaged foods in comparison to the products made by using conventional oil. Then cleaner ingredient labels. Then higher oxidative stability index, which is ranging between 25 to 30 hours range. High oleic soybean oil products are for the food services, frying oils, as I told you, pan and grill oils. Actually, my laptop battery is about to finish. Sorry about that. So maybe I will not be able
flour, and I have added some almost 30% of it for the stretchability, and I'll be adding egg yolks to it. And for decoration of the dough and also for the flavoring of the dough, I have added some chopped parsley to it. So once you knead the dough with some olive oil and some salt and egg, so this is how it looks like. And once the dough is made, I have rolled the dough, and I have cut it into fancy shape, as you can see. Okay. Now, since it's a ravioli, I won't be covering it up. So this is how it looks like, and I'm filling it with some soya bolognese and also with some mushy peas. And for the base, we have some tomato concasse. So we have all the things ready. I'll be just assembling it. And for the soya bolognese, this is the soya isolate, which has been sauteed with some onion, garlic, leek celery, and some tomatoes. So I'll be just finishing it with some wine. So I'll switch on the pan.
While the chef heat the pan, we are using bolognese sauce here. Bolognese sauce is basically meat-based sauce, which is thought to be originated from Bologna, Italy. Hence the name bolognese. And vegetarian touch to it, and of course, soya touch to it. We have added extra soya protein here. And
So for the bolognese sauce, there is my soybean oil.
I'll start off with some finely chopped onion, some crushed garlic or some slices of garlic, or maybe if you want, you can also add some chopped garlic, leek celery, and chopped carrot. So while all these things are getting cooked, I'll make some mushy peas over here. Very simple. Again, oil. I'll take some soybean oil, some chopped celery, some chopped onion goes in. So my onion garlic is sauteed. I'll be deglazing the pan with some red wine. I'm adding all these flavorings because soya has got a earthy flavor. Now all this mirgo of vegetables, this garlic, this red wine will help me to reduce the earthy flavor of the soybean, and the final thing will resemble to that of the meat-based bolognese. So okay, so my pan is deglazed. I'll be adding this tomato concasse, cooking it for some time.
so chef has put here concasse. Concasse is derived from French term concasse. It's basically dried or chopped, and we are using tomato concasse here. Where the tomatoes were deep seeded and the skin was removed, and it was cut in the How about the mushy peas?
My green peas is getting cooked. Saute it nicely. So in goes some warm water. So as you can see over here, I am getting my soya bolognese cooked, my peas getting cooked, and I'll be finishing my tomato concasse over here. So once my green pea is cooked over here, it's time to add some butter and some cream. Butter goes in. And as I said, this is mushy pea, so I'll just mash it. Mash. So my bolognese is almost ready. So at this stage, just a dash of salt, crushed pepper goes in, and some dried rosemary. I'll just crush it and add. So I have my bolognese sauce ready over here. My mushy peas are getting ready. My pasta is ready. And just I'll finish off the tomato concasse. So in goes some oil, soybean oil, obviously. Some chopped onion. Some seasonings. So all the elements of my pasta are ready. I have my bolognese sauce ready over here. I have my concasse ready over here. My mushy peas ready over here. So just clear the area. I'll start off with my plating. So for my plating, I have my plate ready, and these sheets are already blanched, but just I'll shock it. So just warm it in hot water, or else it will be very hard. Now all the things are ready. It's time to plate. So for plating, I have my concasse sauce ready. So 3 sheets like this, followed by my what's it? My bolognese. So be generous while adding the bolognese sauce. Again, another one goes in, just press it gently. Now it's time to put the green peas on top, the mushy peas. Almost done. Now these are the basic things. I'll just put some more soya bolognese on my plate. And these are my garnish. So I have some basil sprig. You can just add it randomly on your plate. And I have some pepper curls also. And for the finishing, I have some tomato petals. Last but not the least, just a touch of balsamic. And some nice sprigs of parsley. So here we go. It's almost done, but just to ensure a bit of moistness and glaze to my dish, a bit of oil, and this would be served with some garlic bread. So my garlic breads are ready in the oven. This is an old-fashioned glass. So here we go. Thank you so much. Okay.
Right now, we have come to the end of our food demo, and we are opening the forum for the audience to ask questions to our Ussec guest speakers. So if any of our lovely audience would like to ask any question to our speakers here, you are completely welcome to do so. And along with the questioning, our guests can also come and have a look at all the dishes which was displayed here from the food demo. Moving forward, we do have received a couple of questions from our virtual audience. So we would like our guest speakers to answer a few questions for the same. Ma'am, sir, we have a question here saying, extracting protein from the actual component undergoes an intense chemical process, leading to bloating, indigestion, nausea, and gas buildup. How is soy isolate protein extracted without any side effects from consuming?
Yeah, there are no such side effects, not at all. You can use soy protein isolate, and actually there are not many chemical modifications during the extraction process. You only remove oil in one step, carbohydrate in other step. And the protein is extracted by putting into alkaline solution, so it will dissolve. And you centrifuge it and take it out. So there are no chemical modification during this process. So there is absolutely no issue with any negative aspects, nausea, vomiting, anything like that. If somebody has a allergy to soy in general, they may have it, but not because of the processing. Okay.
I have another question, sir. In the past, there used to be a high rate of soil erosion due to the soybean cultivation, but through the ages, the erosion levels have been decreased. Is this through the use of GMOs, or is it just naturally?
It has nothing to do with the GMOs. Okay. There are some ways of, I don't know whether they have seen the first presentation on sustainability. So they practice the production practices in such a way soil erosion can be reduced. And in the US, they follow a method called no-till farming. So that means they don't till the land, they don't plow the land. So they will sow soybeans in such a way so that the land structure can be maintained and land quality can be maintained. And there is, and also in the US, they make sure that they will have less amount of deforestation to grow soybean. They don't cut down the forests. Okay. So that you can have the sustainable way of soybean production. Okay. Okay.
So we have one last question for this evening. Currently, Indians are highly dependent on common pulses like rajma, tur dal, urad dal, etc. for their daily protein intake. Moreover, the millennials, like our parents, are still a bit skeptical about the usage of soy and its byproducts. So how would you convince them to inculcate soybean like any other pulses used by them?
Yeah, soybean can be used like any other pulse. Okay. And the only thing is it is not native to us. So that is why we don't think it is easy to digest. But the issue with soybean is it is rich in protein, rich in fat. So it needs a little different cooking practices. So if you cook it properly, especially pressure cooking, then there is absolutely no issue. And if you can see some of the other ingredients which are there, okay, so they can they can help us in better including soy in a day-to-day life. And it is one of the most easiest way because it's very versatile. And you have seen there are so many other different kinds of ingredients available which can be used in different applications. Anything you want to add?
With this, we would like to end our questionnaire session, sir. Personally, I have been taking out a lot of info from this, and I will definitely suggest this not only to my parents, but also to all my relatives, because we, Gen Z, are currently really obsessed with a lot of soy and soy related products. My friend Harshit here, who was co-hosting with me, he himself is a gym, he goes to gym, and he never misses a single day of workout. So I am really sure that even he takes a lot of soy products. Definitely, sir. So I would also like to suggest our audience to also intake a lot of the information which is being given to you, given by you to them. So with this, we would like to conclude our evening. Thank you, everybody. And this was a lovely evening full of information. We would like to hand over the mic to Sanchari ma'am so that she will be giving the closure of the event.
Okay, very good evening, everybody. And firstly, thank you so much to our lovely audience who have in fact joined us since this afternoon for this very important program on soy, and a beautiful collaboration, which we have with Ussec, US Soya Council. And many thanks to Suresh sir, Dr. Suresh Tapu, who is here today with us, and Dr. Kavita. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much to both of you for your great support, and also to all our delegates who have joined us today from outside, from Ussec team. Many thanks, and definitely congratulations to all our students and our teams for being here. I'm certain it's going to be a complete day of learning, and we would be able to take the maximum advantage of learning about soy in hospitality very seriously. So on that regard, this session of today comes to an end, but I'm certain in future we would be having many more such collaborated events of lot of knowledge, lot of sharing, and definitely lot of caring over food and on our health. Thank you, and have a great evening ahead. Thank you from all of us here at IHM Bangalore today.